In the small town of Willowbrook, Mr. Thompson, a grumpy old man, had lived alone ever since his wife passed away. Known for his icy demeanor and curt responses, he rarely engaged with his neighbors, preferring the solitude of his garden where he grew the most beautiful roses. One harsh winter, a particularly severe storm hit the town. Power lines were down, roads blocked, and everyone was confined to their homes. Ms. Wilson, a kind-hearted woman living next door, noticed that Mr. Thompson's house was in complete darkness. The following morning, she decided to check on him, despite knowing he might rebuff her. She bundled up in layers to fight the biting cold and trudged through the snow to his door. Knocking, she waited patiently, fighting back the urge to turn away. When the door finally creaked open, there stood Mr. Thompson, shivering and clearly unwell. "What do you want?" he grumbled. "I just wanted to make sure you're all right," Ms. Wilson said gently. "I saw your lights were out. Do you have heat?" He hesitated, but then, perhaps recognizing her genuine concern, stepped aside to let her in. Inside, the house was freezing. The power outage had left Mr. Thompson without heat for over a day, and he had no way to fix it himself. Ms. Wilson quickly made up her mind. "I'm going to make you some tea, and then we'll figure out how to get the heat back on." She spent the next few hours helping him, contacting utility services, and making sure he was as comfortable as possible while they waited. Over the course of that day, something changed in Mr. Thompson. He softened, his curt responses replaced by gratitude. As they sat by the fireplace, which Ms. Wilson had managed to light, he shared stories of his youth and the love he once had. When the power finally came back on, Mr. Thompson thanked Ms. Wilson with a sincerity she had never seen in him before. The storm had passed, but something else had shifted too. From that day forward, Mr. Thompson became a more familiar figure in the neighborhood, his grumpy exterior melting away to reveal a man who was simply lonely.